Hello, my name is Cheryl Leutjen. I'm author of Love Earth Now and my most recent book, Madness on the Brink of Eco-Apocalypse. It highlights not only our many eco crises of our time, but also showcases some of the many groups who are doing something about them. Welcome to Saving Ourselves Communities Act. In this video series, we are not here to talk about saving the planet. Earth is going to be just fine no matter how many species go extinct or how much the climate warms. The question is whether humanity is going to make it, and why aren't we doing more to save ourselves? But I get it. Figuring out what to do on your own is hard, it's isolating, and that's why we're here to learn from communities who are already doing what they can to help preserve Earth's life support systems. So today we're chatting with Brenda Arson. She's admin of a local Buy Nothing group. Full disclosure, I am also the admin of a local Buy Nothing group. In fact, Brenda and I tag team for each other's groups. So welcome, Brenda.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to discuss this. It's a subject near and dear to my heart. I
I
mean,
know it
it should be
is.
for everyone since it is our own survival that we're talking about. But it's something I care passionately about redirecting items, getting things used, helping people, connecting people. It's something I care
That's
deeply
exactly what
about.
I invited you here today.
Yeah.
But our first question is,
Happy to discuss.
our first question is always to touch a bit of grass and to reconnect with the nature around us. That's just really what we're trying to preserve.
Sure.
So if I were to look beyond your blurry background today and peek outside, what kind of
It
nature
would
would
be
we see?
the messy bedroom.
But beyond that, in the nature outside, what would we see?
But outside of it, our beautiful neighborhood in Glendale, California, and our home of many years. And my family's been part of this community for since the 1940s. So we feel very connected to where we live, and the Buy Nothing Project has immensely enhanced that connection to my local community members. It really helps you feel part of the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah. I live nearby and we're also in an older neighborhood, although I haven't been here that long. And I what I appreciate is that we have so many mature trees
Yes.
amongst our midst.
Oh, we live on a beautiful, wide, tree-lined street. It's I love it. The trees overhang, and it just feels, yes, very cozy and connected. I often think that's the sign of a neighborhood is mature
Yeah.
trees. It makes a neighborhood. It does.
So tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to discover Buy Nothing.
Sure, I think probably like most people, trapped in a house in the pandemic and desperately wanting to seek that connection. And also, probably like a lot of people, found myself with a lot of time on my hands, not having to commute to work every day. We could not go out, no socializing, so you're trapped in a house. And I think, like a lot of people, I started like, oh, yeah, I could finally get this thing organized. I could start decluttering. And how do I sustainably and thoughtfully get these items to people who can use them? And looking online, found the Buy Nothing group. It had been referenced in a local neighborhood group on Facebook, and so okay, let me check it out. Joined the group and just seeing what was being given, that it wasn't typical things. I find with charities or thrift shops that items have to really be in a resellable condition. They do not want miscellaneous items, an item that needs a little bit of repair, but it would be perfectly good. An item that isn't as pristine, it needs a new paint job and it'll have decades of more life. And that's what drew me to Buy Nothing, and really connecting those items to people who could give it new life, who could appreciate it, or those odds and ends that don't necessarily have a home. Uh,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
so, yeah, had the time, found the group, and just immediately felt connected to meeting new people, and
Mhm.
that warm sense of community. And You get the feel for what that group's sense of humor is and how what their little in jokes are.
Yeah.
In my group, we use a Sharpie for scale, and it's very key. You put a Sharpie in the photo, and it's just a little in joke in our group. But it's that kind of connection, that kind of knowing the people around you, and it feels like such a nice, warm, inviting corner of the internet.
Especially, it was so especially important during the pandemic when we weren't feeling like we could connect with people and to
Absolutely.
join a community like that. I know it was very special to me too.
Oh, it absolutely was. It just mental health wise, it was so important to be able to still reach out to people and still talk to people and have those nice interactions. And it just seeing people ask for something and the group rallying to try and find it for them. It really
Yeah,
was.
right.
It was such a wonderful way to connect and still
Yeah.
feel a part of the world when we were all forced to not be a part of the world. Um,
Well, I guess we should also, at the outset here, explain what a Buy Nothing group really is. And
sure.
my short definition is it's a hyper-local community. It's with an established boundary, so to speak, on it, based on a gift economy. Members give freely. There's no buying, there's no selling. We don't even encourage bartering, trading.
Nope,
It's
no
really,
trades, no
truly
bartering.
a
Yeah.
gift. Would you add
Yeah.
anything to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Give, ask, and gratitude. That's what we do. It is giving freely, no strings attached. We don't
Mhm.
barter, we don't exchange. You just give. You give from your heart, or you ask for what you need. And that can be any number of things. It's not just stuff, it's not just things. It's giving of time, it's giving of your knowledge. We recently had a member who offered to teach anyone who wanted to learn how to knit.
Mm,
I, and that's
that's
great.
great.
That you not only are connecting two people who would maybe never have met, come from completely different socioeconomic backgrounds, completely different. They would have had no reason to interact in real life, and they both have a desire to learn this skill, and she was willing to teach. And that the giving of things other than just the stuff is what I love most about Buy Nothing. Certainly, you can walk into a thrift store and find things, um, but I think the specialness of Buy Nothing is you can ask for the specific thing that you want, that you are needing to borrow or to have, and but you can also ask to spend time with someone, to learn something, to connect
Mhm.
with them. I need advice on how to change a tire, and we've had a member absolutely come help. I've needed help with how to properly prune a tree. Gardeners in the group rose to the challenge, like, "Oh, I'd be happy to show you."
That's great.
So
Yeah.
that's yeah, I think that's the beauty of Buy Nothing. It's a Facebook group, which not everyone loves being on Facebook or social media of any kind. I understand, but is where the groups began. There is now also an app if you prefer to use that.
Mhm.
Um, but the Buy Nothing groups began on Facebook, and yes, they're just a very hyper local community. So you are really interacting with the person down the street.
And one thing that appeals to me is that unlike a charity where you might have to qualify your income level, what
Sure.
neighborhood you're in, what
Yeah,
ethnicity, whatever, we charity serves a very distinct population usually,
absolutely.
whereas Buy Nothing, everybody within our local
Absolutely.
community is welcome to join, is welcome to ask, and
Whatever your means are,
I like that
absolutely.
even people that may not have as much as someone else, but they still feel like they have something to give because I've
Absolutely.
seen some really trivial things given and people snap them up.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah, all gifts have equal value. We
all
place
gifts have equal
no
value. All
no
givers have
no
equal value.
no
Yes,
judgments on anything.
right. And
Certainly,
someone can be
people.
a giver one day and
Yep,
an asker the next day.
absolutely. And we all go through different times in our life. When we
Mhm.
have I go you'll be going through a spring clean out. You have a lot to give. And then there'll be months and months and months when no, all you do is you need stuff. You
Yeah.
see an item being off, you're like, "Oh, that's perfect for what I need." oh yes, I didn't even know I needed that, but now that I see it, I know I need it.
Yeah.
And that is, we don't judge where you're at in your life. If you're in a
Right.
time when you need more than others may need, great. Come to buy nothing. We're not judging how much you take, and we don't judge how much you give. And you may be in a group and you've only ever received because you haven't had something to give yet. No
Hmm.
problem.
Right. And,
Participate as you can.
and one thing that I think surprises some people is that you can resell the items that you ask for if you're upfront about it and say,
If you're upfront about it,
You
yes.
know, my family runs a yard sale every Saturday to help make ends
It's
meet.
me.
And
Yeah,
so I would like to have this to sell. That's totally okay. It's
absolutely.
about being candid and honest. That's the key. Yeah.
That's it. One of the biggest tenets of Buy Nothing is build trust
Yes.
and be respectful and build that trust. We are all about openly and honestly communicating. And absolutely, if you say up front, this will help me keep
Hmm.
a roof over my head. This will help me keep
Yeah.
my family fed.
Right.
May I have this? And this is my intent.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
I would
every,
much rather give something to you who
yeah,
says I need this to keep a roof over my head. I love being able to give to you directly than to,
100%.
yeah, shuffle it off to Goodwill and who knows what happens to it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm nothing against any charity. Obviously,
Right. No.
the needs are so great amongst our communities. We need multiple outlets to serve those needs. And be it a source for low income food or, low cost food, low cost items, I need to quickly access clothing, whatever it is, all charities have equal value. The the added bonus of Buy Nothing is not only do you receive items, but you can also receive someone's time, you receive someone's efforts, and it doesn't.
And you feel better about the community in which you live.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I
uh,
feel like people in this community actually care about me because we're
yes.
sharing this way. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so. So,
100%.
what are some of the more interesting things you've seen given?
Well, the my favorite thing I like to see is, for me, it's I love it, because it cannot go anywhere else. Is items that are a piece of something else. This
Yeah,
is the drawer panel
right.
for this kind of dresser, and who needs it? Oh, actually, mine just broke. I
Yeah,
have four of those handles, and I need one more. Great. My other favorite item is, um, it isn't for everybody, but food items. Food
mhm,
items that have been opened obviously cannot go to a food pantry, cannot go anywhere else. Usually, unfortunately, other than the compost bin, we hope, or garbage. And I love seeing food items go up. I tried this cereal. Oh my God, it's not for me.
yeah,
Who would
that's
like
right.
to try this? And I personally just gave away packets of durian. My We had gotten a Costco bag of it. My father had actually gotten a Costco bag of it, and he tried one. He's like, "Oh, that's very not for me."
Yeah,
We tried it, and I was like, "Okay, who else in the community wants to try durian? Here's your chance."
yeah,
It's my whole thing.
exactly.
Here we can all try a little piece of this. And where else could that have been donated?
Yeah.
Nowhere. So
I
I
opened
love
this
that.
bag of chips. I ate three of them. I hate
I
it
threw
though.
them,
Who wants them?
ate them. Who wants it?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, everyone in Buy Nothing participates at their own risk. So if you are
Yes.
not comfortable with someone
No,
else's food handling techniques, no problem. You don't have to
you
take
don't have
it.
to hit that. Yeah.
But that is the beauty of the community, is I know my neighbors. I
Hmm.
know the members of my Buy Nothing group. So I do have a level of trust. I do have a level of, I know this person. Now, we may never have met in real life other than when we go to pick up an item from their home. We don't hang out. Our kids don't go to the same school. But I do feel a connection to that member of my community. And so there is a level of trust about, okay, I assume they're not attempting to poison me. I assume their food is absolutely fine, and I would be happy
Yeah.
to take it. I would love to try that cheese that you didn't like. I'd love to try those chips you didn't like. Um, and so those are my favorite kind of gifts, where it
I
could
love
not go anywhere else. It's a very unique piece of a product. It's a food item. It's something that couldn't have been given away anywhere else. That to me is the difference of buy nothing. I love those kinds of gifts.
Hmm.
And you also just get weird things. You get weird.
Yes.
I cleaned out a storage unit from a independent film. Everything was going to go in the trash. Someone on the film said, "Hey, I know someone who works with Buy Nothing. Let me see if they'll come grab it." And I took my truck, ran down there, got as much as I could, saved as much as I could. Like, absolutely, let's get this to someone who can use it.
Fantastic.
And
Yeah.
they had they had a lot of props in there, and one of the props was fake bars of platinum. Movie was about a bank heist, and so they were stealing these bars of platinum. So they made little fake bars of platinum. And oh my God, uh, you thought that they were real bars of platinum. The way everyone was like, "That's so cool. That's so fun. I could use that as a joke. Oh, that's a running gag with me and my husband. Oh, I love that." People like, it just, where else would that have been? Don't like, I couldn't have
Right.
walked that into Goodwill. Like, here's a fake bars of platinum that we made for a movie. Like, no one would know what that is or want that. But it was extremely popular on Buy Nothing. So it's weird, oddball items.
I know.
Yeah.
I love the trivial things like
Yes,
people I need a scrap of fabric like
yes,
3 inches by 3 inches in red, and I don't
yes.
want to go buy fabric for just 3 inches. And people are like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad to get rid of any of my excess fabric. Or a spool of thread. I borrowed a crochet hook once,
Yep,
and
yeah. Oh, I've
for
borrowed
one project, I
for
didn't want
one project. Yep,
to.
I've borrowed tools,
Yeah,
a very specific tool that had,
right.
it, I only need it for this one job. I,
Yeah,
I I can't rent it. I can't. Where else would I get that? I'm gonna have to buy this tool and either,
right,
it's so.
right.
Oh yeah, I've absolutely borrowed tools, borrowed things I need. One little thing. I've seen people borrow, like, I just need a cup of this,
Yeah,
some fish sauce or something. Like,
yeah,
absolutely.
right. I
Uh,
don't want to buy a whole jug of it.
I don't want to buy a jug of that. I don't want to be stuck with, that
Yeah.
much of it. I just need this small quantity. Uh,
Or some parent will post, I need used empty toilet paper rolls for a science project.
Size.
Everybody,
Oh
oh,
goodness.
glad to get rid of you.
Yes, yes. We just said,
Rolls.
with two empty 2-liter bottles. And where else can you source that much?
Yeah,
You've
right.
got your Girl Scout troop is doing projects. You've got your kids' science project. Like, where else can you source that amount
Yeah.
quickly? Like, go to your community. Like, yeah, I've got two. I've got three. Okay, look, and all of a sudden you've got the 50 you needed. You didn't have to buy 50 bottles of soda to get those 2-liter bottles.
Yeah. Or
It's
something that needs just a little bit of work, but I do not
yes.
know. I tried, I failed. I don't know how to do it. Somebody
Oh,
take this and fix it and use it or what, sell it, whatever. But
yes. We have things, we just need a new coat of paint. Well, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to sand down an item, prep it for
right,
what's the right kind of paint to buy. I don't know. But I know that the structure of this item is absolutely perfect. It has
right.
many years of life left. And there's someone who will love to do that in your group. Someone who's like, I love reclaiming furniture. Absolutely. I would love that item.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
we had a bunch of keys given away. It was hundreds of keys, random keys. They had no idea what they were from. They had various keychains attached, hundreds of keys to who knows. And someone's like, I have an art project in mind. I'd love to get those. Like, amazing. I guess other than metal recycling, where else would those have gone? But it
yeah.
delighted someone. It made someone's day to receive that item and spark their creativity. It's going to turn into an art project that will bring delight and joy to someone else. Amazing. Amazing. Otherwise, those items would have gone in the trash.
I don't remember what the item was, but I remember there was a post, someone posted something that lacked monetary value, shall we say. And a commenter said, this is junk, throw it away. Obviously, not familiar with
Uh,
Buy Nothing
yes.
precepts, but
Yes.
everybody
Practice
rushed to
kindness in
the
our groups.
poster's defense. I would love to have this. I'm an artist, I'm a crafter, I'm a mom, and we need these things.
Absolutely. I love that. It looks like it has no value to someone,
Right.
but I bet you someone in your group has a need for it. will
Yes.
find a value in it.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's it, and those things couldn't go anywhere else. That's the difference.
Right. And I think that's what the whole community aspect of it. I mean, I think that's what separates Buy Nothing from like a Craigslist. You can get free stuff on Craigslist. You can get
Absolutely.
free stuff
Facebook
on
Marketplace, anywhere.
other places, but it
Yeah,
just lacks that both the community and the trust, as you say, that you build
absolutely.
when you trade things.
Yeah,
I think
it's
there's
the
a distinct
connection.
group.
That is the difference between Buy Nothing and any other charitable organization or giveaway site, and really any other Facebook group. And there's tons of Facebook groups or free items, da da da. It's when you're joining your local Buy Nothing group, it's local. You will meet people in your neighborhood,
Hmm.
and we've seen so many connections between. Wait, you only live 2 blocks away from me? How did I not? What?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm there all the time. Why don't we meet up? Let's go to that park together. Absolutely. You see so many connections between you like, oh, I had no idea you live around the corner from me.
Right.
Um, that it's the connections. You're not just connecting items with people who can use them,
Hmm.
which feels great. Feels
Yes.
great. But you're connecting the people and you're that I think is what will end up being the difference in
Because the
how we
environmental
survive.
aspects are also appealing to me too, of course, because landfills are a big source of greenhouse gases
Sure.
and taking up space and habitat and
Absolutely.
all kinds of things. And the more we can reduce,
Yeah.
even more important than recycle, reduce what we buy and what we use
Absolutely.
and get all the good out of it that we can. It makes me sick to see stuff on trash day set out by the trash bin. That's perfectly good stuff. Although
Perfectly good. Could have gone to somebody.
although a lot of our members are good about posting what we call curb alerts. We've seen
Yes, yes, they are. Like, hey,
not my give, but there's a good thing on down the street, and
yep, I
we
do love it.
expand beyond our own households.
Yes, and it is what's going to make the difference. Like we have finite space. We just have the one planet.
Mm,
It will run out of room. It will run out of areas that we can dump trash into. We already see that. It's news headlines all the time. This trash dump is full. Now, where are we going to put this? Barges filled with trash bags looking for a home. Countries refusing to take, trash from other countries any longer. Um, and, the myth of plastics recycling. It doesn't really get recycled if there's no one to buy it and no one to
right.
buy that recycled plastic. We just have to use less of it. And this is the way to do that is use less of it. So don't
Yes.
buy the new thing. Use less. Get it from someone else. And a huge component of buy nothing is borrowing. Why
Hmm.
should I buy this particular Halloween outfit for my kid? They're not going to fit it next year. It
Right.
will never. It was an item that was worn once for 3 hours. Where does that go? If
Yes.
get
Then
it
they
to
wouldn't be caught seen in that next year.
they want to be seen in it, but it means the world to someone who's now of age to enjoy Ninja Turtles or whomever,
Right.
like young girl who's now going through her princess phase. Someone else outgrew it. Get it to someone who can buy less. We've got to
Yeah, the dress up stuff can be used year round.
year round.
So it doesn't have to
It's
be even Halloween, even. Yeah.
yeah. It will spark some child's imagination, or I mean, we judge not. A Harry Potter wand went up on Buy Nothing a few weeks ago, and it was a hot commodity, not amongst the children. It was plenty of adults, including myself, were clamoring to get Dumbledore's wand. So
Yeah.
uh, I get it.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
um, the it's uh, it is just using less. And like we say, when you borrow that tool, great. It didn't. It got used. It's living its best life. That tool is being used as it was intended to be used, but we're using less.
I just got someone got a tree from the city and they need to plant it and they wanted to borrow a shovel because
Yeah,
there's, they don't do a lot of shuffling, but
yeah.
they need
There you
one
go. I
now.
don't. I'm not normally digging. Great.
Yes, right. So
Like fantastic. That is how we make a
And I
difference.
also think it gives us, it's important to see the value in things that we have. I mean, we tend to think of things in terms of how much did it cost, how much
Yeah,
value it has, instead of how much utility it has. And maybe, and if I don't need it anymore, it's not junk. It is something that someone else might be able to use.
absolutely. It's I think a big a helpful component for when someone is if you're choosing to follow a more minimalist lifestyle, if you want
And there's no
to.
evidence that having more stuff makes you happier, by the
Oh,
way.
goodness, no. Goodness, no. Goodness, no. And paying to store it in a storage
Right,
unit.
right. How much do we pay for stuff?
Oh,
Gosh.
the it just, oh, are you using it? I love the idea of the that things have their own intrinsic value, that it exists
Mhm.
to serve a purpose. So let that thing serve its purpose. Shoving it in a closet didn't help it serve its purpose. Let's get it to someone who can give it.
And that helps me too get rid of things that might have some kind of sentimental value. It's like, I
Yes,
don't like this necklace, but it was the last thing my mom gave to me or something.
yes,
And but
yeah,
if I know I'm giving it to a neighbor, it's a lot more meaningful to me
absolutely,
than to, and I'm more likely to give it away than to drop it off at a charity shop.
absolutely. And how many times have we kept something because you go, but I spent X amount on this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, but
Yes.
that money's gone. And
Right.
so now let's get it to someone who won't that help ease the burden of, oh, I spent so much money. I wasted that money. I never used that purse. I hated that purse.
Right.
Great.
Exactly.
But
Right.
now, like that to me helps me gift so many
Gift. Yes,
things.
that's what we
You
mean.
know,
Gift.
it's because it doesn't hold meaning or value to me, but it held great meaning and value to someone in my neighborhood. My neighbor who lives 2 streets over, someone who I could see walking the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I love that I can give that to someone and have know that it's going to have a new life and be cherished. And
Yeah.
and like you say, especially items with huge sentimental value. I just gave away a tea set that a great uncle had brought
Mm.
back from World War II, and it amazing. Like it doesn't hold value. I didn't need that item in my home anymore.
Mhm.
But it gave great joy to the recipient. Oh my goodness. Favorite thing that they've ever built a display cabinet to display like it holds great value and joy to someone else. And that made me
Absolutely.
feel great. Would have I wanted to give a family heirloom that we've had for 70 years to Goodwill? No.
Mhm. Yeah.
But giving it to someone who I know cherishes it, that made all the difference. That makes me feel great. That is
And
what that
and
item
it's also our buy nothing groups that are there for us in crises. As you and I know, we have
yeah,
just been through horrific fires here in Los Angeles area,
absolutely.
and so many people lost
Rallied.
everything.
Yeah,
And we are accepting members from outside our area who are
absolutely.
sheltering or just needing things
Yeah,
because it's so much to start all over. And I have to think that someone getting things that were gifted to them have even more meaning than replacing your stuff with IKEA.
absolutely. Yeah, I would agree. This dresser's been here forever. These
Yeah.
let's get it to someone. Absolutely. It is solving it meets the needs of so many people in so many ways. In our many buy nothing groups have unhoused members in them.
Mhm.
Someone who has literally not even a roof over their head, and the needs that we can meet for them that are not being met, especially in a time when we're seeing a lot of safety nets for our most vulnerable community members being stripped away. This is a way that we can step in and help, and we can't save everyone, we can't help everyone, but I can most certainly help those around me. I can certainly help this one person. I can make a
Mhm.
difference in their life. So let me each one take care of one. Let's let me do what I can. We've adopted a unhoused member, or recently housed member, He was formerly homeless, and he recently got into housing. And way he supplements his income, which he's not employed, the way he keeps that roof over his head is the entire community collects their recycling, and it brings that to him, and that's how he, uh,
Mm.
you know, buys himself fresh fruit and vegetables that are not provided by a food bank. That's how he helps pay his rent for his recently acquired housing. That's how he stays housed.
Very nice. Yeah.
That is how we help. That's
Yeah.
how,
That's buy nothing to me.
yeah,
Wow.
that's the spirit of buy nothing. It's truly not just the things, which
Mhm.
it is awesome. I
Yeah.
love having a way to give away items.
Yes.
As we said, items that have special meaning. I know it's going to someone. Items that couldn't go anywhere else. I know it can go somewhere and be used. Um, but man, helping,
Yep. It
connecting,
feels good.
that's the key. That's the key.
So we mentioned briefly that Buy Nothing groups are mostly hosted on Facebook right now.
They are?
That's one way to find a group, and there
Yes.
is, as you mentioned, there is an app that the creators about Buy Nothing have put together. It's
Yes.
available in the app stores, and but there's also opportunity to just start a Buy Nothing group if there's not one that covers your area.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we just recently in LA, there was a small section that had not been covered. A small section of MacArthur Park had not been covered. And someone saw a need, and moved to the area, and like I I, I loved my Buy Nothing group. There's not one in this area. Oh no, let's get this going. And it's been hugely welcome.
Yeah.
So impactful to have a way to serve an area. So yes,
Mm.
if you go to buynothingproject.org, it explains how to set up a new group. Your first step is if you're choosing to do it on Facebook, of course, look for areas in your group, and it'll show the boundaries of what each group are.
Mhm.
And if you see that your particular neighborhood isn't being served, absolutely. There's a wealth of resources on how to become an admin once you've started a group, how to keep, first get that group going, how to increase engagement, how to get it advertised that, hey, this group now exists to serve this area.
Mhm.
There's a
There's
lot of
also groups that support admins. We are
absolutely
both in a Facebook group specifically for admins of LA area Buy
areas.
Nothing groups. It's a great resource for being able to ask, would you allow this in your group? It's kind of a
Yeah.
give, but it's kind of not. And so I really
Absolutely. Or guidance
appreciate
on,
having.
are we living within Facebook's rules? Is
Right.
this a legal item? Does this violate Facebook's community standards? Very specifics about how do we navigate the legality
Mhm.
of running a charitable group like this. Um, but also, yeah. And I also love the support of, hey, this didn't get any takers in my group. Can you post it in your group,
Right.
neighboring groups? And see if we can get this item saved. Let's
We
get it
do
to a
that back
home.
and forth. Yeah, that is nice
I
too.
love that.
It's something
But
that's really needs it's a unique item that needs a home, but maybe there's not anybody in your group that necessarily needs it.
specifically
You
at
post
this
it
time,
mine. Yeah, we do as admins, we can do that. That's
I
nice.
love that. Yeah, LA is obviously a big city and has many neighborhoods, and it tends to be well covered with Buy Nothing groups. But as we say, we just discovered a pocket that wasn't being served, and now it is. But there are going to be areas with uh, populations that are very spread out,
Mhm.
so it's harder to identify what that neighborhood looks like when there are miles between the next closest person.
Right. And
Uh,
that's for that community to decide. That's the beauty of it. It's not
Absolutely.
prescriptive. You decide what is in your neighborhood. What is your
What your boundaries look like,
yeah,
what your neighborhood is going to be defined as. Absolutely. Um,
sure.
but
So
yeah, I
any
would
final thoughts on
Buy
admin
nothing.
buy nothing. But
I
I'm
would.
having a blast. We could talk all day
I
about
love
buy
it.
nothing. I know.
Exactly. I will spread the word about buy nothing all day, every
So,
day.
yes.
Um, yeah, I would say no. For me, the biggest part of buy nothing is connection. I think that's the difference between it. It's the way to save items that can't otherwise be saved, and connect to people that you may not necessarily have known lived around the corner,
Yep.
and giving new life to items, using less of it and giving new life to them.
Yes. And in the crises that we will be facing, we know that there will be more severe weather events. It's nice to know that you have your buy nothing group. So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, as you face personal crises or
personal
as
crises,
are
yes.
seeing,
Right.
you know,
Lose your
an
job.
area that gets devastated by a natural disaster, or when we're facing, yeah, wildfires, earthquakes, who knows? You'll find the community rallies to help.
Well,
And
thank you so much, Brenda, for taking the time to talk to me today. This
I
has
was
been
happy to. Happy to. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate all that you're doing. You are a fabulous admin,
Thank
and
you. As are
I
you. As are you. I learned from you. So,
it's good we have each other to consult too.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Again, community.
Well, thank you again. And if you enjoyed this conversation, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to hear from more community change makers. You can also read about many more inspiring groups in my book, Madness on the Brink of Eco-Apocalypse. I just happen to have a whole copy of it here.
Love it.
Finally, if you have a group that you would recommend for showcasing for this conversation series, please let me know. We really want to give a voice to all who are caring for people, plants, and critters, because we sure can't wait for our government, the megacorps, or the oligarchs to do it for us. We are here to save ourselves.